Mr. Leopold Bloom ate with relish the inner organs of beasts and fowls. He liked thick giblet soup, knotty gizzards, a stuffed roast heart, liver slices fried with crust crumbs, fried hen cod's roes.
Well, Leopold Bloom is the main character in Ulysses, and he's, in some ways, he's a very ordinary character, but in some ways, he's a unique character in Irish society at the time.
I think the appeal may lie in the fact that, at its basic, story of Ulysses is just about a guy taking a stroll through Dublin city for the day, and that is transposed against a backdrop of a Greek Odyssey. I think if everyone can maybe think of their own lives as a sort of an adventure or an odyssey like that, I think that's where people find the interest in Ulysses.
And I think that one of the reasons it appeals to readers is that it does focus on the ordinary practical details of life, of getting breakfast, of getting up, of making love, of wandering the streets, of going to work. Bloom witnesses a birth in the hospital. He's an advertising salesman, and he wanders the streets of Dublin on this particular day. Well, Bloomsday really began in Ireland on the 100th anniversary of Joyce's birth, so that was in 1982, and it was a celebration just of that one day, but then it was so successful that it started to grow after that, and then quite rapidly it expanded through other cities in the world, mainly energized and directed by Irish studies centres at universities. We had one in Montreal for a while, then it died down, and then it's been revitalized in recent years and continues to grow. And last year they had a whole connection with all of the Bloomsday events around the world. So it's really taken on a life of its own now, and it's become a kind of a popular literary, cultural Irish festival around the world.
What I do remember about Bloomsday as a child was everyone putting in the effort to dress up in all their finest period costume. So Upper St. George's Street was transformed into a early 1900s scene, if you will, with horse-drawn carriages going up and down the street, and people with their canes and their hats and their bonnets. Really loved that as a child, actually.
One of the great things about Bloomsday is that, first of all, it attempts to make a very challenging novel accessible to people on the street, as it were, literally. It shows how novels come from real life and therefore can be brought back to real life. It shows how language charged with imagination and suggestiveness operates in various ways, not just in a kind of sealed off environment of a text just between reader and text, that it can be kind of opened up and exploded out onto the streets. And Joyce would love this because basically what he did with the English literary tradition was to, as an Irish person who had lost his own language, some people see it as an act of revenge on part of Joyce, saying, if you stole our language, this is what we're going to do back to your language. We're going to blow it up in pieces and reassemble it in new and exciting ways.
The cat walks stiffly round a leg of the table with tail on high. Meow. Oh, there you are, Mr. Bloom said, turning from the fire. The cat mewed in answer and stalked again stiffly round a leg of the table, mewing. Just how she stalks over my writing table. Prrr, scratched me head. Prrr. Mr. Bloom watched curiously, kindly, the lithe black form, clean to see, the gloss of her sleek hide, the white button under the butt of her tail, the green flashing eyes. He bent down to her, his hands on his knees. Milk for the pussums, he said. Meow, the cat cried. They call them stupid. They understand what we say better than we understand them. She understands all right. She understands all she wants to. Vindictive too. Wonder what I look like to her.